Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nanny. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight, I have a special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you while I share with this broadcast with some groups. If you're watching, please share with your groups, with your nanny friends. Share, 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 because this is a that needs to be talked about, but kind of isn't talked about because we kind of sweep it under the rug. But yeah, we need to, yeah, do this. So, um, Amber introduce herself to you while I share.
Hey guys, I'm Amber Noelle. You may know me as at the Nanny's Life or at a Nanny's Life, excuse me, on Instagram. I'm a career nanny, almost 10 years under my belt, which seems like
Woohoo!
nothing to Miss Angela. But yeah, I've been loving the career. For the past 4 years, I've been with the same family. We did a share for a little bit. And then now I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old. Um, I'm trying to think of a fun fact. An exciting thing is a year ago, my partner and I purchased our first home. So I'm always trying to get my nanny kids to be wanting to come to my house and hang out so I can get some chores done during the day because it's a struggle out here.
Hello, hello,
It's hard out
hello.
here.
I know the feeling because on the days when I had my kids, oh, you have to do whatever you want to. Okay, we're gonna make a trip to my house. There's a park right up the street, and while the clothes are washing, we'll go and put to the park. And when the clothes come back, put the clothes
Exactly.
in the dryer, and we'll go have lunch, and then we go home and have a nap.
Exactly.
Hello.
I love
I
days
know
like
that.
that.
I know that really, really well. So I
Yes.
get it. I get it. I'm just trying to share this to a couple more groups. I want to share it to the larger groups, but I can't even find the groups that I'm looking for.
Uh-uh.
My pinned groups have somehow unhinged and unpinned themselves. So now I got to scroll all the way down and look for, I don't even see what I'm looking for. So, oh, nope, that's not what I was looking for. Sorry, y'all. Okay, give me 2 seconds, y'all. We had some technical difficulties, and um, there we go. I'll finish sharing a little later. Now, we're going to get into our topic of discussion today, and it's called Counting Your Clients' Coins, or
Yes.
counting your parents' pennies, whichever way you want to see it, however you want to mention, do it, whatever, do it up the way you want to do it up. But you don't know what's in your parents' pockets. You see them shopping. 5 boxes just came through the door. What the heck? Then you see, they just went out to eat. Oh, new car,
Mm.
kids in private school. Okay, they can't go to regular school. Okay. So, but you sitting here thinking, if you can do all this, then you can pay me more. I know you can. You can afford it, but you don't know what's in their pockets. You don't know what they are dealing with, going through. You don't know if you're about to lose your job.
That's
Been
true.
there. So uh, be careful of how you try to situate their budget and their money. Okay? And Miss Amber, I got
Yes,
this
ma'am.
topic for you. So I know you have plenty to say. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna drop it just yet. I'm gonna hand the mic to you and let you let you
Yes.
go
Well,
with it.
yeah, I was inspired to post about this because I was at a gymnastics class with my 2-year-old nanny kid, and I overheard a couple of other nannies discussing a job opportunity, and they were frustrated because the client was only offering, I think, like $15 an hour, but they kept talking about, well, but they have a mansion, their house. I looked it up on Zillow and I already know it's a $3 million house, so they should be able to pay more. And it just brought me back to the idea that, for one, you don't know how much money people have, because there's a such thing as liquid money and there's credit. That's for one. And then for two, I don't feel like it's our place to decide what is of value to another person. So you got people in this world who feel like buying a house is a beautiful investment. It's long term, it's going to appreciate. That's worth it. Versus you have other people who feel like, when I fly, I want to do it in business or first class. That's worth it to me, in exchange for a lower rent. And I feel like as nannies, we always get so caught up on proving our worth to someone who we feel like has enough money to afford what we think we're worth, rather than
Mm-hmm.
just stating our price, state your rate, and either they match it or they don't. Because for me, some of my wealthiest clients were the lowest paying. And some of the clients who are just barely in that upper wage gap paid me the best because they saw value in what I was doing. So you never know.
This is true. I mean, it is so true. Um, I was negotiating a contract. Mom was getting ready to have a baby, and she
Mm-hmm.
already had one child, and she was getting ready to have another one. So I was going to have two under the age of 3. Well, the oldest would have just turned 2, like 3 months before the baby was born. So I was like, so she offered me $1 more an hour, but I'm working 12-hour days. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, you got it exactly. Mm, exactly, exactly. Living on a house on the hill. Got as far as I know, both of them are invested in their money. They got plenty of money. Uh, like I said, shopping and all that other good stuff. And I'm just like, you do realize that you're asking me to take care of a newborn for $12 a day. No, no, not 12 hours. Yeah,
12
$12 a day.
hours.
It was for 12
Oh,
hours. It was a
yeah.
dollar
12
more,
additional
12
dollars.
hours a day. So it was like $12 a day. I said, you do realize that you're asking me to take care of a newborn for $12 a day.
Mm.
No, we gave you a percentage. I said, wait. Time out. Let me stop you there. Okay. First of all, childcare is not measured in uh, percentage. We're not out here in the business world. Childcare is measured by how many kids you have. That's how
Right.
much it's going to cost you. So I counter offer, and I went up like $5 or $6 because I wanted her to come up like $3 or $4.
Right.
So, but then she was like, "Well, we've had you since he was a baby, and he's 2 now. We got a new one coming. We can't lose you." And, okay, well, you better come on. So, like you said, state your price and be firm with it, or leave some ways of negotiating your price to
Right.
where you want it to go. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you don't want to admit that you offer me $1 an hour, uh, $12 a
Mm.
day for
Mm.
this one child, but you want me to stay, and you're getting ready to put the 2-year-old into daycare, which means I got to take both kids for him to go half a day, 3 days a week, both kids, transport them in my car. So that means you need to pay for insurance now. And it was a whole negotiation thing.
Yeah. It's a
It
whole
was a
thing.
big thing going on. So the final say was they came up uh, $4 off of $4 an hour from where they were, because they spoke with someone else, and I had just got my degree. And she said, "You about to the person that talked to you. Oh, you about to lose her because she was an agency.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you finna lose her because she just got a degree while she was working
Mm-hmm.
for you, and she got a degree working 12 hour days. She's working 60 hours a week, and then I found out that I was supposed to get overtime.
Right.
So I wasn't getting overtime and working 60 hours a week. I wasn't getting overtime. So
They
I'm
owed you
looking
that
and researching,
money.
and I called the Department of Labor and I'm asking questions. They said, "Well, who is this person?" I said, "Oh, thank you very much. You've answered my questions." Click. So, I'm like, "You ain't better get me out of my job." Sorry. But um, they ended up having to pay me back pay.
Yeah.
And um, ended up having to, and we ended up negotiating. And I mean, it wasn't that we weren't friends, but business is on the business side, friendship is on the friendship side, and we're
Right.
not going to cross that line. So when we're friends, and when we're business, we business. And I think I did that wrong, but anyway, uh, the line's not going to cross. So after we finished negotiating and getting the money stuff, we went back to being friends. But you have to state your facts. Now, I don't know what kind of college um, funds they had for the kids and all these other things, and who else they were taking care of. All I know is what I saw. But
Right.
sometimes things you see can be deceiving. A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth a million. So I didn't have the video; I just had the pictures, little drops of pictures. But you have to be careful about counting coins and how you think you deserve it. And they're thinking you don't deserve it, which may be a reason that you haven't gotten it yet.
This
What
is
are
true.
you doing? You have to check yourself. What are you doing to be deserving? Have you had that what is it, that check-in of do you have regular check-ins?
Yeah.
So
Performance
you have that.
reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about the performance reviews? If you're not having the performance reviews, what does that say?
Well, I mean, I feel like as an industry of professionals, it is often on us to maintain the professionalism kind of for both
Mhm.
sides. So, as relaxed as you are as a nanny, that's how relaxed your bosses are going to be about what you're doing. So, I love to send out performance reviews and request that my bosses write down on a piece of paper how much they love me because I feel like it really, for one, it helps me be sure, okay, I actually am performing to the level that they expect. For two,
Mhm.
it reminds them that I'm performing to the level that they expect and that their household would run a lot differently if I weren't there. And then it also just helps remind them this is my profession. I do this as a career. And if I am going to stay here with you, I would like some sort of advancement. So for me, I love a review. I really, really do.
I do too, and I like what you just said. If I'm going to stay here with you, I need some sort of advancement. Um, I've heard of nannies putting in their contracts after a year, we need to have a review so that and I get a raise. They don't put in dollar amounts of raise because a raise could be okay. We give you 50 cents more an hour.
Right.
Mm, but I try to go to my parents. I try to keep up with everything. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I, you know, is there anything that I could be doing better that I'm not doing now? Now, sometimes that hurts my feelings because I
Yeah.
know I am to take charge, and I had a parent tell me one time, she said, "Well, I just feel like you're doing too much." And I said, "Doing too much?" She said, "Yeah, you never give me an opportunity to do anything with the baby. You're always doing." I said, "Well, that's why you hired me. when you're here, and that hurt my feelings. I was like, what you mean I'm doing too much?
Right.
So I had to check myself and I said, okay. I said, well, I will come to you and I will ask you, uh, check with you in the mornings. Do you have plans for the baby? Is there something, a special time that you want to take off and do something with the baby? Because I mean, let me know. Well, I had planned on taking them to the park today, but since you have that already planned, I'm like, don't guilt trip me. Because
Right.
it makes me, like she said, I'm doing too much. So I check with her in the morning. I took the responsibility upon myself to say, okay, so this is what is on the calendar for today. I went and bought a calendar. I said, on the days that you want to do something, put it in the book. And I said, we don't have to have a certain set schedule. I said, we know about the baby's, the classes that the baby's taking. I take the baby to the class. I said, but if there's something special that you want to do with the baby, then let me know. I can sit
Yeah.
here and, fold laundry, clean up the babies, straighten out the drawers or I can find something to do. I can find some busy work to do. I,
Yeah.
instead of doing it on Friday, I can do it today. So I had to take responsibility of what she was saying to me that I am doing too much and ask her, what is it that you want to do today so that I don't interfere with your plans with your child because it is your child. I'm just planning things to, to keep us busy and keep your baby developmentally, just on target. So
Right.
I had to uh, swallow my pride and I gulped down a few other things that day. I was like telling me I'm doing too much or doing trying. What you hired me for? And all of this went through my brain. I didn't say it
Yeah.
out loud, but I'm sure some of it passed across my face because she kind of looked at me like, okay, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. So I said, no, 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 there's no need to say apologize. That's your baby. But I'm in the back of my head, I was like, changing my schedule. Shoot, I had things planned to do. So take it upon yourself to have the review. And when you have the review and they ask you about certain things and you see, you want to know about, okay, so y'all shopping a lot. Y'all gonna have you promised me a Christmas bonus. Y'all gonna have the Christmas bonus, it's gonna be significant or what? Take it upon yourself. And I know nannies are smart and they are very professional and they know how to have that conversation. If you don't, I can help you. I can give you some starting points and some pointers on doing that. But have that conversation with your uh, with your parents
Yeah.
and have it with mom and dad because sometimes
They
mom
have
and dad
separate.
are not on the same page. Mama's been giving you a little extra off the top, because that's her little spending money, her little allowance money. But dad doesn't know that. I found that out the hard way too. So you have to have that conversation with mom and dad because daddy spend money. They count their
Very
pennies
differently.
different than mama counts her pennies. So when you start counting coins, the coins that you see coming to you may be out of one pocket, not out of both pockets.
That's true. That's so true.
Because I had a family. Dad paid me the first half of the contract. Mom paid me the second half of the contract. The second half of the contract, I was like, okay, all right. Add a little extra. I was like, and so when the year came up and we are getting ready to renew, Dad said, well, I guess it's going to be my turn to pay for the first 6 months of this contract. And that's when I found out that they had split the contract and dad was paying half and mom was paying half.
Wow.
And that's why I got these little extra cards and little gift cards and where I was like, oh, okay. Dad had no
Wow.
clue. had no clue what was going on. And we're sitting here having this conversation, and mom says, now be sure you add the little car extra cars to it. If you want me to help you, I can. And he's looking at her like she lost her mind. And I'm like, okay, I wanted to, roll up in a ball and just roll out the room because
Mm-hmm.
they started going at it. And I'm like, well, I didn't mean to cause all this. But like I said, dads and moms count their pennies different. And sometimes moms, I am a mom because I know I do it too. Sometimes moms do things extra because moms, I won't say all moms have a more giving heart, but sometimes moms just are just givers, and they just like, oh, well, you did this last week, so I decided to do this for you, and you did this over here, and I just decided. I was like, okay, okay, I am not going to turn it down free. Okay, I'm not going to
Yeah.
turn down gift cards or oh, well, I went to the store and I thought about you, and here you go. No, I'm not going to turn down these little tips and bonuses and benefits. No, but I also know I'm like, Daddy never did this because it never hit his brain to do this. Here you go. Here's your paycheck. That's what we
Yeah.
agreed to.
The bottom
Done.
line. Right.
So what?
Yeah.
Okay, you
It's
think about
so
the problem.
interesting. It's so interesting how moms and dads are because you're reminding me of a time when I worked at a daycare for a little bit and I left the daycare because daycare just does not work for me fundamentally. But one of my babies had some special needs. And so I agreed to work for her parent for, I think, 6 months at a discounted rate. Um, just to kind of get her acclimated to going to her next daycare. So when the 6 months were up, they were like, but we want you to stay. So I was like, well, if you want me to stay, you have to pay my full rate, which is going to kind of be a significant increase. And we sat down and had a meeting and I gave them the numbers and mom immediately was like, we could do that. That's fine. And dad was like, whoa, that's actually something that we need to talk about in private and we'll get back to you. And a month later, he was like, honestly, it wouldn't make sense for us financially. We would go into debt just keeping you as a nanny. So it's interesting how the moms, and I don't know if it's like a gender role thing, because I try to stay away from that. But in a lot of the families I
Hmm.
work for, when you nanny, you're taking some of the load off of the mom more often than the dad. Um, Generally, it's not always that way, but and I
Right.
think that's why moms are so quick to give that extra because for them we're taking their load off and then for the dad we're just like taking their money sometimes, not always, but
Right. Right.
yeah.
I see what you're saying. And
Yeah.
that's and it's like that Venus and Mars things because they
Mhm.
think differently and they
Yeah.
think that dad is right here in the box. Mom
Right.
is
Big
all
picture.
outside the box. She jumping all out the box. I'm tiptoe over here.
Right.
I'm gonna step outside the box here. Oh, let me just jump on over here. So uh just hit my elbow. I'm sorry. That doesn't
The
shut me
funny bone.
up. But
Oh my goodness.
sometimes the pennies that we are getting or the extras that we're getting is from conflicted
Yeah.
should I say conflicted mom and dad. Dad is thinking this way, mom is thinking that way. Dad is more rigid, mom is more lenient, and somewhere in between they are not talking.
Right.
And we don't know, we don't hear what goes on at night after we leave. It
Mm.
could be a conversation of, I thought we had this amount in our savings. Well, I took out a little bit because I felt like so and so she needed a little extra, and I wanted to do this and one. And he's looking at her like, don't do that anymore. And she's looking at him, "Well, but we got the money, we can do this." And it also depends on who holds the purse strings. It also depends on who is the financial
Right.
person in the
Who's
house,
yeah, more
who's
responsible.
doing these bills, I know in my household, I have a set of bills that I pay. My husband has a set of bills that he pays. And when I move from one job to another because I'm an NCS, and he's like, okay, well, I'll hold down the fort over here, while you know,
In
until you get to your
between.
next job. When I get my deposit, I'm like, okay, that goes into savings because I don't spend that until after the contract is over with. And then most of the time, by the time the contract is over with, it just kind of stays in savings, because that's our nest egg. But we have an understanding, and we have different accounts. We have a house account that we both contribute to, and then we have separate accounts where this is my money. I spend it on whatever I want to. This is your money. You spend it on whatever. And basically, we have an allowance. I put it like that.
Right. Right.
So, but we make sure that the house account is everybody gets paid. The car notes, the house note, the electricity, the water, the gas, the cable, the whatever needs to get paid. The lawn guy and the cleaning crew and the whatever. We take an account for that. What I do for Ask the Nanny, what I do for my jam company, what he does for his private company, we all take all that. We take all of that into account when we uh, pay our bills and and if there's something that's coming up that we both want and we want it together, we sit down and we discuss it. And how can we fit this into the budget? What can we do here? What can we do there? Do we need to cut this out? Do we need to cut that out? Because when COVID hit and my husband lost his job, oh, a lot of stuff went out the window and never came back. And we were like,
Right.
why are we still paying these little $10 here, $15? It
Subscription
added up to almost
services.
$300. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
we realized we were throwing $300 out the window every month, and we didn't even
Every
know it
month.
because we weren't even using it. It was just automatically. It was one of those automatic come out. I need money in the bank because
Hmm.
this gonna come out, that's gonna come out, and you just know how much is coming out of your account for the month.
Right.
And we didn't reevaluate that until COVID, and now
Yeah.
we're saving over $300 a month because of the reevaluation. And people looking at us, oh, they got money to spend, they got this, they got that. No, we don't.
Right.
And that's and
Right.
that's the same principle of you looking at your bosses and saying, "Oh, well, they got money to spend." No, they probably don't. And like you
Right.
said, they dad came to you and said, "No, we're going debt.
Yeah, he
trying to
was like, "Oh."
trying to keep you."
Yeah,
Exactly.
and another thing to consider is that, like, it's the, I like to call it the old adage, more money, more problems. Like, these big beautiful homes require staff. These people are paying a grip for landscaping, their heating and cooling costs. Like, I saw my boss's electric bill and I wanted to pass out. Like,
Hello.
it's just different. It's a whole different set of circumstances. And I feel like, I know my boss, dad boss, he is a very long-term financial planner. So sure, to mom boss, it looks like we got all this money in the bank and we should just pay Amber whatever she asks for. But for him, it's like, we also have 3 kids who we intend to send to college. We have this huge house. What if something happens to us? Like, we have to have a nest egg. We have to make investments. It's just a whole different mindset. And
Mhm.
what I charge is going to be what I charge. And either you
Right.
got it and you can give it to me, or I need to move on, rather than me demanding extra money from you because you look like you have it, and then you resenting me in your house every day, eating up your groceries and spending all your money. It just it's
Right.
never going to work out well if you just demand money for the sake of seeing it in your boss's home. It just never works.
Right. And you don't know if I inherited that house or if it
That's
actually
true.
bought it. I went to I worked at Early Head Start, and there's an income level for Early Head Start that you
Right.
have to meet. And that is basically, as taxes are concerned, it's right at the poverty level for your child to get Head Start help. So we had to do home visits. I go do this home visit, and I'm like, what the condo on the beach? Do you know how much? This was I was in Florida at the time. I was like, is it
Explain.
uh,
Yeah.
mm? And I found out that day they lived in dad's grandfather left it to him when he died, like 4 months prior, which was I wasn't even there, so I didn't know this, and I'm just like, okay, so how are you affording this? So all they had to
Right.
do was pay the utilities on it.
Mm.
And they basically living for free, which is how they afforded it. And I was just, oh, okay, because I was gonna say, you know, and that's what we got. That's what goes through. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, because I was gonna say that's the
Right.
first thing that goes through. I was gonna say, but it it let me know that everything. Don't judge the book by its cover. Just because
Right.
it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it could be a swan in disguise. That ugly duckling that was not
Right.
what it turned out to be the beautiful swan. Yeah, that's what it could be. So don't um, look at their pocketbooks because you don't know the life insurance, the college insurance. Because I know I have accidental insurance. I have because cancer runs in my family. I have cancer insurance. My dad had problems with his heart and high blood pressure. I have heart insurance. So if anything happens to me, the day that they diagnose me with cancer, or the day that they tell me, oh, you have heart problems, or heart disease, I start getting paid from all this money that I have invested. But that's an extra 300 some odd dollars a month that I found
Right.
in COVID that I always invested in that. So if something happens to me, my husband travels a lot. So we got some accidental insurance on him. So people see the house that we live in and they think, oh, you got it, man. You got mm-mm, mm-mm. No, y'all
Right.
don't know how many parents I had to slap on that to get that house at that price. God did that, okay, not me.
Yes,
So
God.
because I prayed about it, and because we were fortunate enough and to blessed enough to get it at the price that we wanted, um, that's how we ended up with that house. Mom told me, she said, I knew you were the person for my house because I looked you up on Facebook and I saw your smile and I knew you were a good person. I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay. Because there were other applicants for the house and they chose us because of my smile. She said, and we kept the price low for you too. I was like,
Love it.
thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. So don't frown at everybody. Give a smile.
Mm-hmm.
A smile goes a long way. I'll just say that.
Clearly.
A smile goes a long way. And sometimes I get that from a lot of people that about my smile. There's so many people who live beyond their means, looking like they're living the life, etc., but buried in debt. Exact. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know what's going on. They probably robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter
That's
been
true.
robbed so much he can't you can't rob Peter no more. And Paul is like, okay, where my money at? So you
Yes.
don't know. That is such a true statement. You have no clue as to who is doing what.
Yeah.
So did those nannies finally get did you overhear what she decided to do as far as
No, I don't think they were able to get them to come up on the price, honestly. In the
ah
conversation. And it's so interesting because I feel like as quick as we nannies can be to judge the clients and feel like we deserve more money, I've seen clients judge nannies and be like, but I mean, you have a house and your mortgage is small, like you like to live meagerly or whatever, you don't have bills like I have bills, so you should be okay with this amount of money.
where
So
they do that
there's also that. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, "Are you
no.
married? Does your husband hold down the household? Do you really need this money?" I've seen that too. Mhm.
I've never had anyone ask me, "Do I really need this money?" Never had
Mhm.
them ask me. I have had them ask me, um, "Can you go down a couple of dollars?" I said, no, I'm already down a couple of dollars
Right.
because I try to assess the situation by listening to them talk and understanding what they're saying.
I hope I'm the one who's frozen and not Angela. I hope we didn't lose her. Uh-oh. I guess we lost her. I'm sure she'll get back on.
Oh,
Oh, there
okay.
you are. I
I
was just
don't
saying, I
know.
hope
I
I'm the
was
one who's frozen.
like, what just happened? All I saw was the little thing buffering, and then it said
Uh-oh.
your internet is. I was like, okay, I'm in a hotel. I don't know.
Vacation.
Yeah, in case y'all didn't know, I am in Galveston at the beach,
Ow.
at my watering hole. I shouldn't say my watering hole because that's a whole different terminology. I am at the beach. I'm at the water, my place of peace, where I can be creative and think and just come up with new stuff to do. I've learned that I got here yesterday. I've learned 5 new things since last night that I'm gonna try. I've been trying today, and so anyway, back to the subject again.
Yes, you were
Sorry, I digress.
saying.
Okay. Uh,
You were
Mitch
saying you try to
said,
listen to how they're speaking about
I
it.
try to listen to what they're saying, and I try to be lenient with. I was like, okay, so I know this is my number. It's not my max number, but this my I can live with this number. And uh, so I have that number that I can live with. I have my actual number. And then if you want to be generous, okay, well go ahead on in. So
Yes.
if I have someone who is who I know they need it, but they cannot afford it, um, then I will go down to that number that I can live with, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because I will tell them my rate, and then, well, see, and I can, you can tell you have that sense of discernment as to who's telling you the truth and who's not, and who's trying to just kind of get over. And sometimes I was like, well, I'm sorry that I'm just not the person for you. And 2 weeks later they come back, are you taking yet? My mother-in-law said that she can do this and she can do that. And uh-huh. All of a sudden mother-in-law can kick me. Okay,
Oh,
fine.
but the grandparents do be contributing though.
Yes,
If they
but
cry
sometimes,
enough to
but
mom
see,
and dad.
but that's the thing about it is this one particular family was like, well, we don't have anybody and we can't do this and we don't do that and we don't want to. That's what it
Hemming and
sounded like.
hawing.
And I'm
Hemming and
like,
hawing.
okay. I said, well, just let me know what your decision is. And I walked out and I left them my number. It's on the table. And they came back a couple of weeks later. Well, my mother-in-law, oh, you didn't have nobody, but now all of a sudden mother-in-law can kick in. I'm like, oh, yeah, see,
That's why I feel
but
like more of us need to do that. More of us nannies need to have not so much what we can accept. And I know it's different with contract work because you're not stuck in that excuse me, stuck in that rate as long as like full-time work like I do. But
right,
like I don't want to talk about what I can live with anymore. I want to talk about what I feel like I'm worth. And I want to try really hard to find a family who will pay that because, like, first of all, the more of us demand what we're worth, the less families are going to run around saying, well, so and so said she'll do it for $13, so I'm just going to go with her because it's easy to watch a baby. But also, like, you don't go to Target or Home Goods and be like, I really want this air freshener, but I don't have $3. Like, you either buy it or you don't. And I feel like we need to get to that point in this industry. Like, you're either okay with my rate or it's not worth it to you, rather than always trying to figure out, okay, what works for you? Okay, well, if I do, okay, well, maybe, yeah, that's, we
Something
need to just state
came
our
up in
rate and
my
go.
feed a few days ago, and it said, take yourself off the bargain rack and put yourself behind the glass where the real valuables are.
Yes, I love that. Oh, I love it.
So,
Yes.
it was like from 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, I need to post this. I need to remember this myself. Come on, self, remember this. You are not a
Yes,
bargain. You are a hot commodity.
that's right.
You are not the bargain basement. You are Nordstrom's. You are
Yes.
what's his name? Was it Issey Miyake or whatever his name is? You're up there with the models, with the Heidi's uh,
Yes.
what's her name? Uh, what's
Naomi.
Naomi and Tara? Is it Tara? What is her name? Yeah, Naomi.
But you're
Right.
worth it. You are
Anyway,
worth
you
it.
are worth it. And
Yeah.
you see these women walking around with attitudes because they know their worth and they don't put up with less than the best. And some of the parents that we work for want a whole long laundry list
That's right.
when they only paying for the socks to be
Exactly.
folded. So
Mm-hmm.
um, when they tell me light housekeeping, okay, you gonna have to give me a list of what light
Right.
housekeeping is,
Specifics.
because I don't understand your light housekeeping is not me being the cleaning lady because you have one of those.
Right.
I agree to, and I have it in my contract, I agree to clean up children's messes when we make the mess. I will wash their dishes when we make the mess. I'm not the one that comes in and unloads the dishwasher in the morning. I'm not the one that comes in on Monday morning and cleans all the dishes in the sink. That is not me.
Right.
I will wash what we use and put it away, and your dishes will still be sitting there in the sink. I used to do that, and I got it taken advantage of so many times. And I made up my mind, I can't do this anymore because it takes time away from the baby crying. And you coming here wondering, well, why is the baby crying? What's going on? Because
Exactly.
uh, all these dishes are in the sink. He's not willing to wait on me to finish washing the dishes and putting them in the dishwasher because they've been in there all weekend. So there's hard, crusted, stuck on stuff. So I have to
Right.
wait, uh, either soak them off or scrub them off, and it's taking away from the baby's time. And he's not willing to wait for me. So that's why your baby is crying. So I just made up my mind that, even though my heart, it's like I had to harden my heart to say no. I had
Yeah,
to
you
come to
do.
a point of stop being passive, that passive aggressive, and just be uh, boundary set.
Yeah, be
Set the
firm.
boundaries and call it a day. Stop being passive aggressive and set the boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, Mitch says also people don't explain that the house in France is actually a friend's house, etc. People say things to impress and just lead others to believe. Yeah, I know that's right. I've seen my family say this to other families. Oh yeah. And what else did she
Mm-mm-mm.
say? I just had a mom tell me she is in the wrong field when I told her my pay would be double what she is offering. She added, of course, she doesn't have the 20 years that I have. Well, of course not. She doesn't have the 20 years that you have. And that's another thing. The nannies who have experience, who who have been in it for a while, uh, the younger nannies who don't have as much experience, that have 2 or 3 years, they want to come in making what the experienced nannies want, and they ruin it for themselves. So sometimes it's not even about counting their pennies; it's about you counting somebody else's pennies as your own, because
That's
you don't
true.
have that much experience. They're paying you according to your experience, not according to what you see in their pockets.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people
So,
end up leaving the industry when they try to come in like that. They try to come in strong just because of what they
mhm,
saw in a Facebook group. And then they're like, well, nobody will pay me. So, yeah, I've seen that happen too,
right.
for
That's
sure.
what I did. I, at 18 went to school, got my business degree, gonna go into accounting, start crunching numbers, I'm making my $60,000 a year. Oh, Lord. Mhm. Until they tell you, you graduate, you get that degree, and you start at the little peon at $25,000 a year. Say what?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
25 years ago, yeah, that was, 25, 30 years ago, that was livable. You start at the bottom and you work your way up to that $60,000. In my head, oh, so and so making 60. He making 52. He making 80. But he's the boss. I understand him. I'm coming out of here. I'm gonna make at least 60 because I'm good. Okay. I'm counting somebody else's pennies that don't belong to me
Hmm.
because I didn't have any experience. All I had was my degree. And nowadays, your degree is like getting graduated from high school sometimes. When you go
That's
and try
crazy.
because everybody's trying to get that same job, and who has the most experience and job qualities.
Yeah,
She
that's how
said,
I
"You're
ended up in this
losing."
industry, actually. Because I came out of college and I was like, I'm ready to make good money, and the best money was in the nanny world. Strangely enough,
Well, I tried to avoid it, and I got in, went in, and I went out, and I came back in. I was like, you know what? I'm doing my own thing because I love being my own boss. I love being able to do. Am I frozen again?
I can hear you. You look frozen, but I can hear you.
Lord Jesus. Okay, so let's just wrap this up because apparently a lot of people who have been out have come back to the hotel. So everybody kind of on the on this like internet.
They're
So
taking all your bandwidth.
they taking all my bandwidth. I can't, but um, so anyway, thank you, Amber, for coming and talking. Uh, I'm getting a
Yeah, thanks for
helicopter
having
voice.
me.
Okay, I know I need to go now. It's a helicopter voice. Okay. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Okay, so next week, as the nanny will be on vacation. It's Memorial Day, so we will be on vacation. But the week after that, June 7th, I have my friend Daniel from Nanny ABCs. He is doing this free webinar for nannies on interviewing. So take your interviewing skills from a 5 to a 10. So on June the 7th, I will have him on the show, and he's going to be telling us about his webinar that is free, y'all. Free. I hope y'all hear my helicopter voice saying free. So, okay. So, thank you again, Amber, for joining me.
Thank
I
you for
really
having
encourage
me.
you. And the next time you're counting coins, your parents' coins, think about some of the things that we said. Because, the book may not, what's inside the book may not be reflected on the cover.
That's right.
Just saying. All right. You all have a good holiday. I am on vacation. And next week, I'm on Nana's summer camp. Yay! My grandson will be here. And yes, I look forward to Nana summer camp. Uh, when we got in summer, I missed last year. This year, we own it. So you all, I'll be showing you all some pictures of my vacation and showing you some pictures throughout the Nana Summer Camp. So I will see you all next time in June. You all have a great weekend and enjoy your holiday. Thank you, Amber.
Thank
I'll see you all later.
you.